This is the next to last day in our journey to explore the obvious. Start out going over the present investment climate. We went over the two types of investment options that a typical investor has, and those are basically tangible assets and intangible assets. Went out, put together a pool of 7 houses for about $250,000, and we're going to proceed to evaluate them. Wanted to try to get a value, the present value on these properties using the traditional real estate valuation methods, cost approach, income approach, comparative analysis approach. The cost approach, which is pretty much rebuilding the portfolio with depreciation, came up with about $650,000. Income approach, using just the cash flow from the property, if somebody were to want a 10% return, they'd pay a little over $300,000. Then we did the last approach, which was the comparative analysis, or what most people refer to as comps, and came up with some figures on that. On the comp approach, we came up with anywhere from the conservative figure of a little over $400,000 to aggressively close to $500,000. In our industry, a lot of value on the comps, but we think all these approaches should be looked at even if you're considering investing in intangibles. I'd like to introduce a very powerful tool which I believe can go a long way in filling a void and really even helping the economy. It's called a land contract. A land contract is a contract between the buyer and a private seller of a property, wherein the seller holds the title or deed to the property until all agreed payments are made in full. It's similar to a rent-to-own. Many people hear the word land contract and they associate that with raw land. That's not the case. It's for any real estate. A down payment's usually made, then equal monthly installments are paid till the property is paid off, or ordinarily there's a balloon at some determined time down the road. There's a huge void in the present environment to become the banks, and so few of the banks seem to want to be in the banking business. There are a number of pluses to be gained by converting your rentals into land contracts. A land contract is considered an installment sale by the IRS. Instead of rent, you actually get a PITI payment, or principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, it's like a mortgage payment. And the resident is responsible for maintenance and repairs. The nice thing from the resident's standpoint is that they now respect you as the banker instead of a landlord, and they enjoy a mortgage interest deduction, and there's really more pride of ownership. In addition, their having made a down payment gives them a bigger stake in the property and helps assure that they'll look after your investment. These transactions work very well for the buyer and the seller. We like land contracts for a variety of reasons. One of the most distasteful yet necessary components is the ability to repossess the property in a timely manner in the unfortunate event of a default. Land contract forfeiture is very similar to a straight eviction and is almost as expeditious. I know evictions in our area take maybe 60 days from the time that they default till you get them out. Land contracts usually a month longer, about 90 days. And a foreclosure could take as much as a year. To foreclose on a mortgage, there's really two different types of foreclosures. It depends if a state is what they call a judicial state or a non-judicial state. And it does vary from state to state. Usually a state that has mortgages is considered a judicial state. Non-judicial has deeds of trust. And the principal difference between the two is the judicial process requires court action on a foreclosed home. The timelines can significantly be different and can really undermine the transaction. The reason I wanted to go over the mortgage foreclosure issue is it really underscores the power of a land contract. Land contracts really do offer I think, the best of both worlds. From a seller standpoint, there's less maintenance, you get more stable resident, quicker forfeiture rules, and you do get a down payment. The buyer standpoint, they get an interest deduction, so they save a little bit on their taxes versus rent. And then they have equity built up. They can even sell the property if they can make the improvements, and they benefit from it. And it's there's really more pride of ownership. It's really a win-win situation. And that concludes the fifth